We're back for episode 10.
Woo!
Woo!
It's double digits. 10.
We're into the double digits.
Baby.
I think the first thing to say about this episode was that the pace of it was, like, less happened this episode than I thought necessarily, because I was sort of operating under the assumption that there would be 12 episodes because I still have never seen a source confirming 13 episodes. People have just been saying that.
It's been a lot of like secondhand
information.
Yeah,
it's just been a lot of hearsay.
This list the DVD has 13 episodes or something like that.
Yeah, but so it wasn't until this episode that I was like, okay, it's gonna be 13 episodes.
It's gonna be 13
just based on what they got through this episode, there needs to be 3 more after this to wrap everything up through World Domination Arc. So that's very exciting news. I guess it could be like a double length, like finale or something. Yeah. Which I think would be cool. Also, I just don't want to wait another week.
Yeah. But well, yeah, I don't think they'll do a double feature finale, but I also know it's weird to have 13 episodes instead of 12. But you know, I mean, yeah, it's probably going to be 13.
Yeah.
Just because...
It has to be. They can't finish the rest of it in just 2 episodes.
World Dom in itself, like, I know last episode was, like, really hard to kind of follow because the pacing was so fast-paced, but World Dom itself, like, even when I was reading the manga, it was really fast-paced for
honestly, for, like, the anime only, it should be hard to follow because I had no fucking idea what was going on.
I couldn't even really follow it in the manga because a lot of characters are either being reintroduced to you or there's new characters being introduced to you that, like, last for, like, 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, what's that one guy's name who's with Joseph and he like gets buff like Shibata or whatever.
Oh, I don't remember his name.
I don't know, but his face haunts me.
Yeah, there's
I don't like
just
him.
a bunch of new people all at once, most of whom you don't have to remember at all.
Right, exactly.
Which is almost easier to like absorb in like an anime, I think, than when you're reading it, you're like, I don't know, you feel more like you have to know who they are or something.
I'm the opposite, because reading you can easily go back to.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm just not good with reading.
You're not good with turning a page back and forth?
No. Well, I'm reading it on the internet.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Me
it's like
too.
hard to...
You don't print it all off and just look at it in a binder?
I don't print my manga scanlations, actually.
Damn, that's what I've been doing.
Thousands of pages.
Anyway. So, yeah.
Great episode.
It was a good episode.
Very good episode.
A lot of World Dom, I feel like, is like stuff setting up for like the next part of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like they're just kind of working towards the big finale.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. So it's like some of it's like it's just kind of like, okay, we're getting through this part to get to this. Like this episode especially, like a lot of it's like, okay, we got the strategy, we're setting this up, this is leading to the Shimazaki fight, the Minagishi fight, the main Totoro fight.
Yeah.
So one thing that
Stop clicking that remote. That's gonna sound up in the audio.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I guess one thing to mention was they kind of edited Teru's line, I think, in the beginning of this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So when he's like he has this fever because like originally it was kind of a joke like, oh haha, Teru can't lose because he gets a fever, like whatever. But he's like, I also had nightmares after fighting against Mob, which is obviously against. He's having nightmares from triple question mark, which is a lot. Like, oof. Teru, like,
honestly, that's enough to, like, really turn me into a Teru stan,
right?
Like, fully.
Well, he obviously has trauma from this.
Yeah.
And
that's something that he's, like, constantly kind of projecting that onto the other villains.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a line after they fight Shimazaki where... I think, like, Ritsu or someone is like, oh, won't he try to fight us again? And Teru's like, no, this is a trauma that will stick with him forever or something. And it's like, oh, damn.
Yeah, for sure. And, like, when you think about, like, Teru facing triple question mark and Mob, like, again, at the very end of the series, it's just, I don't know, it's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Yeah. And
I love Teru.
And then you think about, like, how afraid he might have been. But he still was like, he knew Mob was hurting and knew Mob would be hurt if he knew he was hurting other people. So he stood up against
so emo.
him. I know.
I'm gonna cry.
We're Teru stans now.
I'm a Teru stan now.
I love Teru. I've always loved Teru.
I always have loved him, but I feel like I haven't really understood him very well.
Yeah.
But I feel like this kind of helps me understand him to kind of see, like, how he's sort of, like, hiding his, like, fear and trauma.
Right.
Under, like, confidence and, And how he just like constantly kind of like projects onto other people too.
There's a lot of projection. These kids project.
Everyone's projecting onto everybody. That's the plot.
Yeah, that's the plot.
Psycho.
Mob projection 100. But yeah, I mean, like Taro definitely has like a lot of trauma with it, and I mean, like everyone really who faces like or sees triple question mark does.
He's
like,
more
Ritsu does.
He's like kind of like Ritsu. In
that regard. For sure. And just like I guess like the whole point is like how people deal with that. Like, Teru's afraid of it, but he faces him at the end of the series. Yeah. Ritsu's afraid of it, but he's more so afraid for his brother.
Yeah.
Sho's afraid of his dad, but it's in the sense where he's like, I need to take my dad down. Damn. Real shit. Anyway. So they're kind of doing their strategy, and Reagan's like, well, I'm not getting insurance back, so I might as well fucking do this.
I love that scene so much. The voice acting on like the phone call was so good.
It really is. I just like the mini Reagan, the very small one, and the void.
Small. He's very small. He has no money.
He has no money. He is very poor.
You can imagine the kind of stress he's under.
He's under a lot of stress.
Reagan is just the most relatable adult. He's like, I don't want to fight these people until he's like, I need to get my insurance money back.
Okay, honestly though,
we're gonna fight.
He's an extremely relatable like mid-20s guy. One knows how to write in certain age groups. He's just like, how did I feel as a kid? Nails that down. How do I feel now as a mid-20-year-old? Writes Reagan. Like, goddamn. But yeah.
Reagan's great. They added a few omakes this episode. One of them was when Ritsu is when he's gonna stay and help and fight against Minagishi with the three of Sho's dudes. And he like looks at the fan and he's like, no.
He's like, I have doubts.
I have my doubts.
Yeah.
Like, that was that was just like a little one-page omake, like, kind of explaining what his thought process was during that scene. So they added that in, and then the other one they added was when the Body Improvement Club is running into the city, and the guard is like, you can't come in this way, it's been closed off, and they're like, I guess we'll have to run somewhere else, and it's like explaining like how they were, where they were when they got mobbed. So I thought that was kind of funny to see those two things.
It helps with the pacing too, because I mean they always do that where they'll add like omakes in like very
and those
simply.
Are 2 like 5-second long scenes, you know.
And like but it does help with the pacing, like, you know, like watching it and you're like, oh, the Body Improvement Club's there, oh, they're probably going to get in the midst of it, what's going to happen,
right? It kind of helps because it's not as much of a like, it's still like a surprise to see them, but it's like been set up a little bit more that they're gonna be involved and that they're gonna show up in some way.
Yeah, and then with the Ritsu one, it's like, I mean, like, I feel like it fits because we're not into the more serious parts of it.
Yeah, it's
and like a little comic like that, because it does do that a lot where there's like little comedies like spurt within it, and then it will switch heavily into like the heavier stuff. Yeah, like 180 into it and then go back to comedy. Yeah. So yeah.
Then we get Dad Reagan.
Dad Reagan carrying Mob on his back, which I love.
Oh, it's so cute.
It's cute. It is really cute. But they're also dealing with like fucking monsters.
Yeah. As you do.
As you do with like a child on your back. Reagan's constantly getting into these situations, and Mob is there, and he's like, God damn it! I guess I have to protect this child. I guess I'll dive
into this gun. Yeah, and I just love this whole part. It's such a great scene for Reagan.
It really is
so funny, like just having that cursed cologne on him, and that's one of the omakes that obviously they couldn't have really added this one. Yeah, but it's so, I just love that omake where he finds like he finds the cologne and he's like, I wonder what this is, and just knocks himself the fuck out in his office.
I love it.
A customer walks in and they're like, oh, I'll leave.
I love that he says I confiscated it from that glasses dude. Like he like took like a toy from like a child.
Yeah. And I love that he calls Sakurai just 4 eyes constantly. Oh yeah. It's very funny.
He just bullies him. Sakurai's like, I was bullied for that as a child. Reagan constantly calls people nicknames like other kids like thought of like years before him. Like with Mob.
Reagan's just a bully. Right. He's like, Mob, is that what your friends call you to make fun of you? I'll call you that too.
Or he's like,
I'm an adult.
He's like, because I know like the kanji like can be said like similarly. He's like, oh Mob, oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. I was like, yeah,
you're
like
not the first
yeah,
one.
He's like, yeah, a bunch of other fourth graders haven't thought of that before, you little bitch.
You're so creative.
Oh, you're so amazing, master. Oh, wow, look at you. Wow.
That's the same sense of humor as a 9-year-old.
That's what's been going through Mob's head constantly. But yeah, and then he like, I love it when like, was it Shibata?
Yeah.
When he's like, he's like, psychic steroids, I can send power to my brain. He's like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, sure, good night.
Yeah, sure, good night.
It's so good.
It's good.
And then the return of... Oh, wait, we're going to talk about the Serizawa scene first.
Yeah, it kind of cuts into, goes back to Serizawa and the Claw Gang.
Yeah.
The Claw Gang.
The Super Five.
That's a different thing. Yeah.
Ultimate Five.
The Ultimate Five.
Super Five.
The, Duper Five.
Super Duper Five.
Super Duper Trooper 5. So anyway.
Super Duper
Trooper 5. And they're like, Tochiro's like, blah, 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 we're taking over the world. And Serizawa's like, is this really good? And Tochiro's like, I'm going to get in your personal space under your umbrella. Yeah. And Serizawa's like, don't like this bad touch, man.
Yeah, this is bad.
But,
bad touch.
No, well, because you can see how uncomfortable he is, and he kind of flinches, like, when you can see how, like, Serizawa is still very, like, anxious about his space.
Yeah.
Even with, like, somebody who supposedly brought him out into society again.
It makes me so sad.
I know.
Serizawa.
And just, like, the whole speech, like, you can see how menacing Tochiro is and, like, how manipulative he is because Serizawa's like, oh, maybe I can be a president for a company.
Right, like, Serizawa is so, like, deluded, and, like, Tochiro obviously just, like, lets him stay in that delusion because it benefits him.
The thing is...
he knows that Serizawa wouldn't be, like, down for this, so he's like,
he's not down to clown.
He's not down to clown. He's not down to, like, murder people.
Tochiro
so he has to keep him in the dark.
Sari's room. You down to murder some bitches? Sarah's like, no.
He's like, okay, well, we're just a company, so you don't have to worry about that.
He's like, Tochiro, like, actually says something like kill at, like, a meeting. He's like, we're gonna kill those bastards. And Serizawa's like, what? He's like, I mean, financially.
He's like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
The thing is, like, I feel like it is an in-between
Serizawa knows.
Serizawa knows, but he's, like, lying to himself to feel comfortable.
And and this is just, like, you know, important set up for what will be coming up eventually, which is that he knows, and he says, like, oh, I always knew that we were, like, hurting people, but I, like, kept that down. So he's not like stupid or, like, completely naive.
No, and that's the thing is, like,
which is kind of his similarity to Mob in a way, but
that's true. But also I feel like it is a different context since Serizawa is a grown man. Yeah. So, like, but I'm also kind of worried that Bones plays up the naivety too much.
I think that they tend to do that. I think for Mob, for sure, as well as Serizawa, they have been kind of making him seem a little more naive. Yeah. So I'm just excited to see how they'll play his like awakening part.
I think they'll do it good because I mean, you know, they did like the scene good where he's like, "Is that actually real? True?
Yeah.
Is that really true?" and stuff. And even with Mob, like. I especially Mob in that scene because Mob himself is not naive. He meets Mogami again and is like, all right, I'm gonna be a badass bitch. Yeah, and he's like a badass bitch for the next 10 minutes.
God, I love Mob.
I know, I do too. I would die for Mob.
I would really lay down my life.
I would too. So then
that's the true like Reagan-kin mood is like, how quickly would you die for Mob in any situation?
All of the characters in Mob Psycho,
everyone would die for Mob.
It's just like. Guess I'll lay down my life for this kid. Like, every single character sees him and it's like, oh, fuck. I can't not die for him.
That's the plot.
That's the true Psycho helmet.
And Mob's like, please don't.
The plot is people willing to die for Mob, but Mob telling them to live, to get some self-worth, you bitch.
Yeah, that's really the plot.
That really is. I just need Mob to slap Reagan as well. And
I know.
Be like, get some self-worth.
When is Reagan gonna get his like tough love? True. Or just any kind of love?
Oh, that's emo. Sad.
I know, but like, has anyone ever told him that He's a good person. So like Mob has.
I'm like, that happened 2 episodes ago.
Okay, in a way that he believed. Well, that's the problem, is he never believes it when he's told it. People can tell him all day and he'd be like, they're just lying to me. Well, he needs to
believe it first.
Oh no. God damn it, I'm sad.
I'm lying to people, why would they not lie to me?
Oh shit.
Yeah. God. Yeah, swallow on that pill. Why don't you sip on that for a little bit? Anyway, Dimple Mob. So Dimple Mob comes back, and Dimple's like, if I don't do a flip immediately, Shigeo dies.
Yeah, which is his, like, MO.
His what?
His MO. You don't hear people say that?
No.
It's like a modus operandi or something. I don't know. People just, it's like what you... Just Google it.
Just say motto.
That's not what it means.
Yes, that's what it sounds
like. No, MO is like
money
that...
order.
Stop. It's like what you do. Like it's like, oh, that's like what I do. Like you say like, oh, that's my MO.
My magnum opus.
Stop. No.
Okay. Anyway, so that's what he does. So that's what he does. But also, like, I mean, I love Dimple Mob because it's so fun to see Mob, like, expressive, being, like, expressing stuff like that, like he usually does. But also, I gotta sit down with myself and be like, I love him because of Dimple's shenanigans.
Yeah, everyone who loves Dimple Mob needs to have a reckoning and realize that they're just Dimple stans deep down. Like, that's just Dimple.
Dimple stans, and this doesn't apply to you because you never watched it, but Dimple stans are just Bill Cipher stans from Gravity Falls.
I don't know what that means.
It's okay. He was also a demon that possessed people.
Okay, I stan.
Yeah, but I stan. But yeah, and just like, God, when he's like, oh shit, Reagan, catch him. And Reagan's like, yeah, let me take a volleyball stance. What are you gonna do? Fucking hit him in the face? Reagan,
that's not how you catch someone.
You're not smart.
He like makes a fist. Like, I got him.
I got him. Like, you're
you
such
idiot.
a dumbass.
Yeah, they're just two idiots.
Yeah.
And I love them.
Oh, I'm gonna start a debate.
Okay.
So when I first watched this episode, I could have sworn Reagan said dimple instead of Ekubo.
No, he said Ekubo.
Does he say Ekubo? I heard dimple.
It's kind of like a Yanni Laurel Yanni thing.
Say what you guys heard, because now that I go back,
actually, another person heard dimple too. But
now that I go back, I definitely hear Ekubo when
I can hear both, but I heard Ekubo.
But I heard dimple at first.
We're like, why do you say it in English?
Yeah, I was like, oh, I was caught off guard. I was like, wait, why do you switch to English?
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
When you're so surprised, you start speaking English.
You just start speaking a language you don't
know.
Reagan doesn't drop a lot of English words either. I think he said like okay once in the Japanese dub, but that's it. I'm not too sure though. Yeah. He's not like Inukawa. Nice idea. Okay, so the one thing I was kind of watching through like the next scene where they're half the game's flying the cars, half the game's in the tunnels was I was keeping up with the twins because
those twins.
Yeah, because if you those peculiar twins.
Actually, are they not even twins? They're just brothers.
They have to be twins.
No, I feel like they're brothers. I don't think they're twins because in the first season, one of them says, like, oh, that's my younger brother.
No, okay, well, there's, like, a common thing in Japan, actually, where, like, even if you're twins, you'll still decipher who's younger and who's older.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's actually just, like, a cultural thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they'll still say, like, they're actually my younger twin or my older twin.
Okay.
Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's
because I always thought that, from that, I was like, oh, they're not twins?
No, they'll still, like, you know, be specific and be like, oh, that's my younger than me. Yeah, exactly. But they'll be like, that's my younger brother, my older brother, even though they're twins, and it's like there's like a 2-minute difference.
Okay.
But yeah, someone can correct me on that if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what I've read before. But anyway, the brothers or whatever, because if you read the manga, one admits in like an omake he totally forgot about the brothers at one point. I think they are in this scene because Jenny was mentioning, oh well, yeah, they should be split up because then they can
they can communicate with each other.
With each other. And I think they do, like, next episode or so. But I think it's, like, sometime in the Shimazaki fight.
Yeah, I think during the main kind of part of the Shimazaki fight, when they're all kind of, like, trying to distract him and kind of, like, you know, ganging up on him.
Yeah.
I think in that scene, they're just not there.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if Bones is gonna, like, add them in.
Yeah.
Or if Bones is gonna do a thing where it's, like, after the credits, they show Inamaki where it's, like, them, like, doing whatever one
That would be really funny.
That would be super funny, and I feel like that would be very, like,
I don't know if
the show.
I don't know if that would, like, work, though, just because of, like, the different medium.
Yeah.
That people that had only watched the anime would be like, what do you mean you forgot about them? You know? Because it's like you made this
Yeah, and there's so much
show.
more editing to go into it.
Like, that doesn't make any sense.
In an anime. Well, they don't have to say, like, they forgot, but they can say, like,
yeah, they
the
could
Shimazaki brothers, like, figured a way out or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder, or if they'll just, like, have them in the background, or if they'll just completely ignore them.
I just said Shimazaki brothers.
Shiatori.
I can't even, I think I have been saying Shimazaki brothers. Can you make an edit where it's just Shimazaki's face on both of their bodies?
Yeah.
Good. God damn it. Anyway, speaking of Shimazaki, this bitch walking down the fucking wall.
Yeah, that was not in the manga. I don't believe.
No, that was so extra.
Bones was like, this extra bitch is gonna walk down the side of a wall.
Bones really did choose who they were gonna stay on this season, didn't they?
Yeah.
They were like, we are Shimazaki bitches. They really were like, we love Ling from Fullmetal Alchemist, and they're like, this bitch over here. Similar? So yeah,
we love him. His aura's cool.
His aura is super sick.
We got our second Super 5 aura. Did we see a Shibata aura? I don't even remember. We didn't.
They showed, like, the one guy fighting Shibata. No, they didn't, because they didn't show Shibata, like, go Hulk out.
Yeah, we didn't see anything.
Also, I don't care about Shibata.
I like auras.
I do too.
And it would be weird if they didn't give us all of the Super 5's auras.
Yeah, that's true.
There's like no other Shibata
Yeah, scenes. Is there any other Shibata?
I don't think so.
Shit.
Bone said, fuck Shibata rights.
Okay, but honestly, is there anybody who really stands Shibata? No, I didn't think so. They used Shibata's aura and gave it to the weird kid who also has his powers.
Maybe, that guy got an aura.
They really did.
Maybe I'll start standing Shibata out of spite.
Okay, tell me your why you stand Shibata right now.
I can't do it.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, there's
He's
nothing
not
to
likable.
There's nothing to his character.
Yeah, no.
He's nothing.
He just
punches.
He's worthless.
He's worthless. He tries to punch Reagan in the face.
Okay, but that's
Stan worthy.
Actually, that's Stan worthy. Let alone.
This is going off the rails.
Yeah, it really is.
Should we mention that we're kind of tipsy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I was like, how are we going to drag this one out to be our usual length? And we're having no problem doing that, apparently.
Anyway, no. Shimazaki walks down a wall. His aura is sick.
You're just straight up reading our notes now?
No, I'm going back in my mind.
Oh. No mob with a gun.
Mob did not get his gun. He didn't steal a gun from a cop.
Like, admittedly, that scene in the manga did nothing.
It's useless.
But was it funny?
It's so fucking funny. It's so...
So I get why they cut it, and I have no issues with them cutting it, but it's still funny.
Just the idea of mob with a gun is hilarious. Yeah. Like, I'm very anti-gun, but it's super funny. Like, he should not have a gun, but it's funny.
It's not Mob, it's Dimple. Dimple should have a gun.
So, okay, Dimple died, like, years ago. Like, at least 100 years ago.
But guns have been around for a while.
He had that kind of gun where you had to, like, stick some shit down and he couldn't fire it for, like, 15 minutes.
Yeah,
that's the kind of gun Dimple had.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, shit, how do I use this?
How do I use this modern technology?
I want more, like, Dimple trying to figure out modern shit.
I know, me too.
Actually, that would... God, you're making me a Dimple stan.
I know! I'm gonna make everyone a Dimple stan. That's my mission in life.
You go into my house when I'm sleeping, you whisper in my ear, Dimple, Dimple.
I do.
Ekubo.
If I start calling him Ekubo, that's like the real sign of a Dimple stan.
Yeah, I don't know if I could even, like, talk to you after that point, honestly. That's going a bit... There's just, like, such a level of, like... I don't know, weirdness with it. Not weird. I don't mean it like that. Like, when you don't speak Japanese and that's not your language or culture.
It's kind of like, what are you trying to prove?
Right, exactly. And it's like, I'm just gonna sprinkle in some Japanese terms I learned from anime in here. It's like, all right. Right, like, well, we do that, but...
Yeah, we do that all the time.
Yeah. Anyway, so Body Improvement Club. Anyway. So Mob didn't get a gun, but Tsubomi did get to watch him get pummeled into the fucking air. She was like, oh, wow, that was Mob.
Tsubomi definitely saw that.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, is that Kageyama?
Yeah. Does she call him Kageyama or Mob?
I don't know.
She's like, oh, there he is.
Mob.
In the air. Mabu! She's like, oh, shit. Mob's dead. And she sees him again at school, and she's like, oh, never mind, he's not dead. That's nice. Smooth.
She sees him not dead later, and she's like, smooth.
It's like, what? So, good old Body Improvement Club comes in.
I love Musashi
yes.
So much.
I love this whole scene.
Oh, this scene's so good.
I know. Just, I love this scene, and it breaks my heart that Mob doesn't even hear it, and he's asleep.
I know,
but
Mob
that
doesn't
Musashi,
know.
Right, Musashi just saying how he gives them courage, and it's just so nice.
It's so nice.
And I'm thinking about, like, the Body Improvement Club just, like, getting so, like, pumped up for Mob and, like, with Mob, and, like, they love him so much, and it's really heartfelt.
Yeah.
I love them so much because they're so against the trope. Like, because when they're first introduced, you're like, oh, who are these assholes? They're the bad guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, they're jerks.
Nicest.
But they're the nicest. Their hearts are as big as their muscles. Yes. Yeah. They're so good. And they're the purest boys. And they would, like, literally, they would die for Mob.
Yeah. And I would die for them.
And I would die for them. Dimple Musashi is also very good.
Oh yeah, the reveal of that was super cool. How it kind of started with like with you heard like Dimple's voice and then kind of saw his aura, and then it revealed the cat's biting me.
Is it a cat or is it me? It's biting you.
It's a cat.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Yeah. And his aura.
Where were we? It is aura.
So we were talking about this because we're aura bitches. And
you're mostly an aura bitch, but you're making me into an aura bitch.
If you're making me a dimple stan, I have to make you an aura. I really like the auras. I really, really like them. But I was thinking, and Jenny's like, she goes to me, she goes, Marissa, my dear friend, did they show Dimple's aura in the first season? And I went, Jennifer, no, they actually did not show that in the first season. When he possessed the security guard, there was nothing there. And they kind of showed it when he was going into Minori, like somewhat, like a little outline, kind of. Yeah. I think they showed the full
showed like a little green. It was a little green.
I need to look back, but I think Dimple's aura is the exact same texture of Mob's aura, only like more greens.
Yeah.
But don't quote me on that. I'll have to look back at it. But yeah, so his aura's cool.
Yeah, we got a Dimple aura.
Yeah.
We love it. Nice. Unless that's just Musashi's aura and he's just an Esper.
No, because you can see Musashi's an Esper.
He just didn't tell anyone.
Well, you can see it when like when he possesses Mob in this episode too.
Yeah.
But yeah, then Mob comes back.
Mob's back.
Mob's back.
Yeah, they kind of dragged out. I mean, not really dragged out, but they like gave it time, which I like that they're giving this arc some kind of room to breathe.
Yeah, for sure.
So that Mob being asleep felt like an actual thing and didn't just go by really fast.
Yeah, because, I mean, he was asleep for, like, a majority of last episode and a majority of this episode, so it felt, like, right. It felt longer in the manga, I think, because one kept poking fun at it, and Miyamoto's, he's like, is Mob still asleep? Yes, he is. But, yeah, I agree. I think it gave it enough room to breathe and actually feel like it. Mm-hmm. And then the Body Improvement Club being like, make sure you don't fall asleep outside again. Like, that's what we're talking about, I guess.
Yeah, like, is that the biggest issue that happened here?
Right. We're not
like, don't pick fights with guys that are 10 times your size.
Make sure to pick your fights correctly, Kageyama. That's what they tell him. Yes.
Don't get thrown across the city.
Yeah. That's such a great plot point.
It really is.
Like, how do we make it to Mob has to walk back and he meets all the villains?
They just kind of need Mob to get, like, separated from the rest of the cast. Mm-hmm. So it's like, what if he just got thrown across the city?
Fucking city.
And then had to, like, work his way back. And then
They're
he
like,
could,
brilliant!
Like, run into Mogami and stuff. Like,
right.
Yeah, cool, that works.
Exactly. And then, of course, it ends with good old Sho about to see his pops.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The one thing I wanted to say about the Body Improvement Club scene was I love that last, the last page of that part of the manga when they're trying to, like, pick up Shibata and his, like, muscles are shrinking and they're like, we should take him to the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, lift on 3. And Onigawara's like, I don't know if we should do that. It's so funny. They're so pure. They're, like, gonna take this guy that just, like, beat them up.
I was like, did they take him to a hospital? Because I felt like I remembered that.
Yeah, in the manga, they're like, we gotta take him to the hospital. And they're like lifting him up.
They're like, this guy who just tried to kill like our friend.
They're like, his muscles are shrinking.
Oh, yeah, his muscles are shrinking. That's what they're worried about. That's weird.
That's not normal.
This shirtless older man trying to kill our friend. That's kind of weird.
We should save him anyway.
We should save him.
Yeah.
But anyway, Sho's like, hey, Pops, it's me.
I'm here.
You gotta go.
It's your boy.
It's me, your boy.
It's me, your boy.
Sho Suzuki.
He's like, it's showtime, Pops.
Oh, that absolutely killed me.
I'm glad.
I like the idea of Sho just saying that himself, and Ritsu's like, right next to him. He's like, oh, please stop.
Like, God damn it.
God damn it.
I hate you so much.
He's like, I fucking hate you so much. Can I please go home?
Where's my family?
Where's my family?
Can you unburn down my house? That'd be real cool.
God. Poor Ritsu. This poor kid.
Ritsu's been through a lot.
He's been through a lot for like the past 24 hours.
Yeah. The past 13 years.
Ritsu's life sucks.
Ritsu's life does suck.
Popular? Who cares? Good grades? Give me a break. I can't bend this spoon.
We're just really going off the rails about Ritsu right now, but like, God damn
Dimple! It's not Dimple!
This is like the most unhinged episode that we've had, unexpectedly.
You know what I have to say to that?
What?
You know what I have to say to that?
I don't want to know.
Sorry, dude, tough break.
Sorry, dude, tough break.
Sorry, dude, tough break.
Oh, God, I love Ritsu.
Ritsu, God. Okay, I love Ritsu
Oh, my boy. I cry over Ritsu at least once a day.
I've been crying over Sho recently.
Wow, good for you.
I really... Opposite. I'm sorry, dude. Whoa, dude, that's great.
What, dude? That's really woke of you.
That's really neato, burrito.
It's neato, dude. I don't know. I feel like I haven't been hit with, like, major Sho feels. I've been kind of working my way through the kids, like, one by one.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew that was not the right way to phrase that.
Yeah, you were what now? You want to go a second?
Yeah. I've been stanning the kids. Is that better? One by one.
Sure.
It still sounds weird.
You're such a coward. Stand them all at once.
I need to focus on each of them individually. They deserve it. I feel like I kind of went like... I lashed onto Ritsu, like, pretty immediately.
Yeah, you did.
And then I sort of had, like, the mob.
As soon as you saw the alley scene.
Yeah, I was
ally
like...
Scene.
As soon as I saw, like, the alley scene, I was like, oh, Ritsu's my son.
Yeah.
I'm signing the adoption papers.
Well, the thing is, like, I hated Sho when I first read it.
Oh, yeah, you're like, he killed his family.
Well, not even that, because I was like, even in the first, like, the 7th Division arc, I was like, this guy's really hard on Mob for no reason.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, he burned his house down. What an asshole. And, like, even after learning, like, his predicaments, I'm like, I still don't like Sho. And then I was thinking about it. I'm like, he's just a kid.
Yeah.
He really thought he was the one who had to take down his dad.
Yeah.
Like... And even Mob is like, understandable, have a good day.
Yeah, Mob's like, all right, I get it.
Yeah, he forgives him right away. So anyway, on the ending.
Yes. So the ending, the show moved to the middle of the screen.
Yeah, he did. Sorry.
That's okay. Bless you. And which was interesting. They just like shifted him over. And then
he
something
shifts all the way to
until it's off screen. A few more episodes. And there was something on Twitter that I don't know where it came from, but it was like a image of the ED that was the same as it is for that screen, but it had Minagishi and Serizawa on either side of Sho, and then Mogami, controversially, I'm sure, in the back.
Yeah.
So that could possibly be at the end of next episode.
Yeah. Speaking of next episode.
It's
definitely going to be Minagishi, and Mogami thing.
Yep, that's going to happen.
They're going to be like, hey, what's up, Babu? And I was like,
what did you say? Babu.
I said, hey, what's up, Babu?
I said Babu.
Babu. Babadook.
Babadook.
Mom's like 100, but it's Babadook instead of Bob.
That's the only difference, is they call him Babadook.
No, it's the actual
he
Bob.
is the Babadook. Okay, that's very funny.
Okay, thank you. I was like, I feel like you didn't appreciate that enough.
No, I have.
Thank you. Sho versus, do you think it's gonna get to him fighting Totoro?
I think I mean, I'd have to kind of, like, look back to the manga, but I think that, they could potentially move up, like, some of that scene, because isn't there's this whole thing where he kind of, like, where he, like, fights him, and then he sort of, Totoro reveals that he's been charging power for 20 years.
Yep.
That could definitely be next episode.
Yeah, that little expedition is definitely next episode.
Because that's important to kind of build that up before we go into the last few episodes. Because they've been kind of showing how powerful the rest of the Super 5 is. Like, they've been setting up, like, Serizawa and the other ones. And, like, you know, Minagishi, they set up this episode by showing that he can defeat those three guys, even though they were, like, a pretty powerful team, that he didn't seem to have a problem with them.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've been setting up, like, Shimazaki. So they need to set up, like, Totoro now and show that he's, like, really powerful.
Right. They kind of hinted at it this episode when they're like, hey, boss, did you do anything to those espers? And they're really powerful now. And Totoro's like, all the rice here is good.
Yeah, he's like, time to change the subject.
Let's change the subject. Yeah, he really is.
Yeah, because we don't really know a single thing about his powers yet.
Totoro? No.
Yeah.
No.
So it's important, to kind of get that set up, so leave a little bit of suspense for, like, can Mob beat him?
Right.
I don't know. Ooh. Maybe Mob will die.
Maybe Mob will die. And that's the end.
That's the end.
Mob dead. 100. 100% dead. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Oh, no. Sorry, dude. Tough.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
and
boy.
then the Shibazaki fight's definitely next episode.
Yes, which I'm gonna love, because Reagan socking him in the face.
Oh my god!
Is the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be really tough to watch, though, because they're definitely gonna do the same.
Well,
God, I hope they bring the same, like, animator on. Animator? Why did I say it like that? I don't know.
Which animator?
There was a specific animator who, he kind of squishes and stretches, but he did the Koyama and Mob fights.
Yeah. That would
be
cool.
Because he shows specifically, like, the impact of punches. He's really good with that. And that's really good with showing, like, this is just a kid.
Yeah, he, like, beats up Ritsu, too, first.
He beats Ritsu and Teru up, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to read in the manga alone.
Yeah.
So, that's going to be difficult to watch.
Ooh.
Time to get your Teru and Ritsu feels on.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to cry.
Yeah. And then the ending's probably going to be Mob going into the tower.
Yeah, and seeing Serizawa.
Which means we'll finally get, are you kidding me?
Yes, are you kidding me?
God.
Mob is, like, he was asleep and now he's back to 100% raw mode. Like, he's gonna yell at some random people in the street and
no
tell them
shoplifting
not
allowed.
to shoplift, and then tell them life is about helping other people.
Fuck me.
He's a good boy.
I love how they're like, now their mob like passed out and fell asleep for like 2 days. Maybe he'll won't be as like raw as shit and bent on killing. And
wakes up and he's like back to raw and killing.
Back to raw and killing. But yeah, I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Well, okay. What the? Okay, fuck this. I'll throw that away.
No. This has been a little discombobulated.
Yeah, if you want us to redo it, let us know. We're not gonna do that, but
we're not gonna do it. But you can certainly ask us
if it's funnier. Let us know.
Maybe we'll just be unhinged.
If we had better insights, let us know.
Let us know.
P.O. Box 6969 420 Lane, Hard Rock Cafe.
You're so funny.
I was voted class clown in high school.
You were.
I was.
It's true.
There's your laptop.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Good night.
Good night. Sleep tight.